if you don't have a good connector cable, you have an alternative, although this one is a little harder. So rather than having all the nice solder points from that connector cable, we're going to have to actually work directly on the motherboard. So the equivalent of LED A2 and LED O2 on the motherboard is actually right here. So LED A2, LED C2, and again all you would have to do is connect these two. And for the speaker, we have the right speaker, and where's the left speaker? Yes, the left speaker, which is right there. Okay, and that's basically for the red wires of our speakers. Now, where we connect the ground for our speaker, it's not just any ground. In fact, if you do use this and you just randomly connect the black wire, the ground wire of the speakers, to some ground point on the motherboard, you're actually going to burn out your speakers eventually, because that's a direct connection to the power management unit, and your speakers actually act as a resistor, and you basically just burn out your speakers over time. So what you need to do is you need to properly hook up the ground wire for the speakers, okay, to this point right there. So let's see if I can focus and zoom in. Okay, so underneath the upper LCD connector are these through hole points, or drill holes here. So here's the, let's see, here's the first one. It's right by the 44, and the immediate next one over is the ground. These are actually the speaker connectors too. So, but as you can see, they're very, very tiny, so we don't want to work with them. They're also on the other side of the motherboard, so that there is also ground. The problem is that you can't connect the wires here because the casing sits right here, and it gives support to the trigger. Sorry, I didn't realize I was out of focus. So this trigger button here actually rests against part of the plastic casing, and so there's no clearance to use these solder points. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to actually run a wire out through here, up here, and clear the trigger, or I think it's the left trigger. I may have said the right trigger, but anyways, one of the trigger buttons. So you have to run it out through here, and then up through here, and then finally, once you flip this over, the wire will have to come up through here, and this is where your battery sits. So you're going to have to run that wire all the way out here as well. So that's a pain in the butt. But that's the alternative if you don't have a nice wire.